The Duke of Sussex delivered a keynote address during yesterday's General Assembly plenary session at the United Nations in New York. Prince Harry's speech was part of the celebrations for Nelson Mandela International Day, when the UN and communities around the world gather to pay tribute to the anti-apartheid hero's life and legacy. In his deeply personal speech, the Duke mentioned how important the African continent has been throughout his life. He said, "I've always found hope on the continent. In fact, for most of my life, it has been my lifeline, a place where I have found peace and healing time and time again. It's where I've felt closest to my mother and sought solace after she died, and where I knew I had found a soulmate in my wife." This mention of Meghan Markle and Princess Diana left many fans of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex emotional. One Twitter user, @ArchieMegHars, shared a clip from Harry's speech focused on his tribute to his wife and mother and added 3 crying emojis. Replying to this post, @Aberborn wrote, "So good. I got misty. What a person he has become." Similarly, @SweetZoeSA said, "I shed a little tear listening to his speech. I just love the #GoodKingHarry, all the way from South Africa." Another fan of the Sussexes, @Honey, addressed the Duke as king, saying, "I'm just in love with the man #King Harry has become. So proud of him." @UOFAR expressed their sympathy for Harry, saying, "I try not to grieve for Harry, but he's been through so much. H is still grieving his mom." And @Daz Legal wrote, "I've replayed this part so much already." Prince Harry's whole speech was perfection. "I'm so proud of the great person he had." The Duke was invited to deliver the speech by the Nelson Mandela Foundation. In his address, he reflected on the South African president's relentless spirit, unbent by 27 years of incarceration and the injustice suffered by large parts of the population during the apartheid in South Africa. He also warned the planet is at a pivotal moment, where people can either choose to follow Mr. Mandela's example and persevere or despair. In one of his more overtly political speeches to date, Harry said, "This has been a painful year in a painful decade. We're living through a pandemic that continues to ravage communities in every corner of the globe, climate change wreaking havoc on our planet, with the most vulnerable suffering most of all, the few, weaponizing lies and disinformation at the expense of the many, and from the horrific war in Ukraine to the rolling back of constitutional rights here in the United States. We are witnessing a global assault on democracy and freedom, the cause of Mandela's life." Earlier in his speech, Prince Harry had also mentioned the late Princess of Wales meeting in South Africa with Mr. Mandela. Referring to a picture showing Diana and the South African leader shaking hands, the Duke said, "On my wall, and in my heart every day, is an image of my mother and Mandela meeting in Cape Town in 1997. Prince Charles traveled with his son Harry to South Africa in November 1997, just weeks after the death of the Princess of Wales. Over the years, the Duke of Sussex has often referred to the importance of that trip, saying in 2019, "I came here in 1997, 1998 straight after my mom died, so it was a nice place to get away from it all. But now I feel deeply connected to this place and to Africa." The Duke shared his love for the African continent early in his relationship with Meghan, as he invited the then actress to join him for a private trip to Botswana soon after they had started to date in the summer of 2016.